Welcome to Andrea Lake 101, the making of a billionaire. You guys, we have something so special for you this week. Mr. Franz Aliquo is, in fact, the founder of Street Wars. He is also the founder of the 666 Burger Truck. In addition to that, he is a creative mastermind who literally helped me conceive, concept, come up with, and brand the Power Chick Mafia. He's a badass. He gets pulled into all kinds of super cool places with super cool brands and helps them to do activations, and is also a co-founder and chief creative officer over at Culinary. He is a good friend of mine. Franz and I have known, how long have we known each other for, Franz? Like 15 years?
At least?
At least?
2007, I think.
I think that sounds right to me as well. Yeah, I think that sounds right to me as well. And in a former life, in a past life, he also was an attorney specializing in IP law. Is that all correct? Were lies told, or is that all true?
I mean, you may have told some lies, but I'm going to let them slide.
So the thing that's actually fascinating to me about you as a human being, which I'm going to talk about a little bit, if I may, is that you're not just this like badass attorney. That's why I call you my 007 spy friend, because when Franz said to me, I'm a trademark attorney, I was like, I thought you were like the Street Wars guy. Franz, can you please explain to us what Street Wars is?
Street Wars back in 2004, before experiential thing was a thing. I created a game called Street Wars, which is a citywide water gun assassination tournament where the playing field's the entire city and the game's on 24/7 for 30 days. And the idea was like, boom, like I just wanted to, at the time when I came up with it, I was working as a lawyer and I freaking hated my life and I was watching a ton of reality TV, like first gen, Survivor, you know what I'm saying?
I do.
And I had this kind of realization. I'm sitting watching reality TV, hating my job, going back and forth to work, following the same routine. I was like, I am watching people do interesting things while I am not doing anything interesting. And then I remembered playing a game similar to what I ended up creating in high school, which was like a really fun time. You got a little card with the name of somebody you had to find and kill on like school grounds with one of the little plastic tracer guns that would shoot the little discs.
Yeah.
And I was like, it would be so much doper if you could do it in the whole city, because then you would basically be getting an action movie life experience, right?
So cool.
Right? You'd be able to live in an action movie for 30 days. If you knew somebody was hunting you and you were hunting somebody in the city, are you freaking nuts? That'd be fucking awesome. So I made that game happen in New York in 2004. It blew up because like Mike Bloomberg, the mayor of New York City at the time, called me insane for doing something like this in New York.
Perfect.
Oh yeah, it was the best marketing.
Amazing.
He was like, he specifically said that I should, I think his quote was, should make use of the free psychiatric facilities the city offers.
He did not. What a windfall.
I'm a lawyer, for Christ's sake.
Let's go.
And then it blew up. And rather than just kind of doing it only in New York, like the first game was like 150 people. By the second game, we had doubled that, and we're doing it in like Vienna, And
Vienna, Austria.
And we did it in Paris, and we did it in Los Angeles, Chicago, fucking San Francisco, whatever. Like, it was worldwide.
Oh, Franz, what happened when you did it in Singapore?
Yeah, Singapore didn't work out so good. Singapore didn't work out so good. So I don't know if you know, but the government in Singapore is very strict about things. And by things, I mean like literally everything that you can do. Like people, you will, and I'm not even fucking exaggerating, you will get arrested for spitting gum on the street.
Yes.
Like 100%.
Correct.
Anyway, they decided to organize a game of Street Wars in Singapore because Singapore's pretty fucking cool.
It is. Can you ever go back to Singapore again in your whole life?
No. After organizing that game in Singapore, 2 weeks into the game, I get contacted by the Singaporean government, and they're like, "Hey, you're doing this game here, and you don't have any permits." And I was like, oh wow, that's just crazy. And they're like, well, you're going to have to shut it down. And at the time, I wasn't in Singapore anymore. So like, the, the bravery born of safety. I'm just like, screw you guys. I'm not stopping this game. It has to go to the end. And it did. It did go to the end. The government also, though, was not happy with that. So ultimately, I'm banned from ever returning to Singapore. That's a long story short. I'm banned from returning to Singapore. If I do go back, they're going
That's
to
what I'm
cane
looking
me,
for.
and I have to pay them a
Caning.
bunch of money. But officially, banned from Singapore. Also banned from all Motel 6s, but for entirely different reasons.
Okay, so we're going to talk about the company which caused you to be banned from all Motel 6s, which is one of the most awesome companies that exists in the world. So Franz is not just like this badass lawyery dude who knows stuff. He's not just a creative director, ran a creative agency for a long time.
Yeah.
He's not just the CMO over at Hellenic. He also started Street Wars and a couple other companies, both of which we're going to talk about. He started the rental car rally, which is why he got banned from the Motel 6. Will you tell us that story? What is rental car rally?
Rental car rally. So like, yeah, I do a whole bunch of creative consultation for brands and stuff, but also I run these things. So Street Wars was one of them. Rental car rally is a best to describe a point-to-point competitive car race in costume that is also a food fight. So like I was, watching a lot of TV, and it's all like Gumball Rally and Cannonball Runny type stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a really cool life experience to have, but I don't got hundreds of thousands of dollars to buy a supercar and the ability to take 30 days to carouse through Europe.
Right.
It's like, can I do this? Can I compress this into a weekend? And hence Rental Car Rally was born. So like usually it ends up being like, I don't know, 50 to 70 cars, about 4 people a car. So, do the math, a couple of hundred people, all in costume. I usually have everybody meet at a parking lot in a shady neighborhood.
Well,
Yeah, exactly. Friday, 10 p.m.
yeah.
The start line, the starting kind of horn is at midnight. So you party with everybody for a couple of hours in the parking lot. And then you get a box of troublemaking devices, including shaving cream, eggs, glitter, mustard, ketchup, whatever. And a list of checkpoints, which are usually weird abandoned places or weird abandoned people along your route. So like, for example, in the kind of weird abandoned people category, I sent all the players to this bookstore in Arizona. Quartzsite, Arizona was the bookstore.
Yeah.
And I was like, you have to get to the bookstore and get a picture with the owner of the bookstore. Right? Pretty straightforward, pretty simple. But I did not tell them. The owner of the bookstore was the first male exotic dancer in the United States, 80 years old, and a
Stop
nudist.
it. Stop. I love it.
Yeah.
Love
You know
it.
what I mean? So, yeah, so you show up there and boom, like there's this nude old guy running a bookstore that now you're all dressed in costume, got to take pictures with. So it's weird checkpoints like that. And on this particular, sorry, go.
Sorry. Oh, I was just going to interject that it's themed by car usually. So you'll have like a car of zombies, a car of nuns, a car of like it's a themed per car. So just I wanted people to get the visual. It could be like everybody dressed up in like scream masks, or some people have scream masks and some people have like fake knives sticking out of them. It is costumed and it is done to perfection. Please
We had
continue.
one team of like Guy Fieri's.
Love it.
Which is
Obsessed.
hilarious. One of the checkpoints is always like a brunch, a breakfast stop.
Okay.
And the Guy Fieri's like descended on this tiny diner in the middle of nowhere, Arizona, and strong-armed their way into the kitchen and started cooking. So it's really fun, wild stuff like that overnight.
Yep.
So you're going nonstop until you hit the finish line, which is again a Motel 6 that has a pool. They have an outdoor pool. This is fantastic. I didn't tell them that we were bringing 250 people that had just been driving for 18 hours straight. Some of them were not driving, so those people were drinking, probably taking drugs. And they all descend on this Motel 6 after, again, 18 hours driving through the desert packed in ridiculous cars and super hot costumes. So yeah, you get to the pool, everybody dives in. There were also other guests there. And they didn't appreciate that. All told, that by the end of this, at 2 a.m, the local sheriff of Tombstone, Arizona, was going around knocking on random people's doors, asking if they knew where he could find Supreme, which was the name I used under organizing these things. And everybody was like, "No, I have no idea who you're talking about. Supreme,
Who's that guy?
That's crazy. I'm sleeping here." So yeah, got away scot-free on that one, except for the banning from Motel 6. But I didn't book the room under my own name.
Oh, smart. So then how did you get banned?
Oh, because I used my real name.
Another time?
Well, we use Motel 6s a lot.
Of course.
Because they're cheap and they're all over the place.
Yes, and they used to be really nice.
Year, we also did a Motel 6, and well, yeah.
They did. Accor, you guys, I will die on this hill. Accor purchased, which is a nice European hotel brand, had purchased the Motel 6 in 2006, and they did an entire system-wide renovation, and then they sold it to BlackRock. I don't remember when, around 2012, 14, whatever. So they were actually really nice because they did a whole system-wide renovation. That's why for a while it looked like you walked into an IKEA when you were in a Motel 6, and it was generally nice. And then it's gone back down since BlackRock took it.
And not because of personal grievances against them, but the Tombstone Motel 6 was not nice.
No, it was an unnice one in 2004.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of variants by location. It was
a lot of
franchise.
Yeah. Tombstone was a special one.
Yeah.
Tombstone people were awesome as hell, though.
Yeah, they are. I love it.
We ended up that night at a local bar. And a lot of dudes were still in costume. One guy was dressed as the Ultimate Warrior, the wrestler, WWF, and some local dude, cowboy hat and everything, rolls up to him and was like, "Hey, you wrestle?" And you for real. And it turns out that the guy dressed as the wrestler actually was a college wrestler. And so the Tombstone guy was like, "Oh, you're a real wrestler. We got to wrestle now." So they clear out a bunch of people in the middle of the bar, and these guys are about to go at it wrestling. And the bartender, who I later learned was the owner of the space, jumps over the bar and runs into the middle of the people about to get their thing on. He's like, "Stop, stop, stop." And they're like, "What?" He's like, "If y'all gonna wrestle here, I got a referee." So then he refereed the local cowboy guy wrestling a dude dressed as the Ultimate Warrior in the middle of a bar in Tombstone, Arizona, and the Ultimate Warrior won.
Oh, man, that sounds like a heroic battle. I am obsessed. I love this a lot. So Franz, originally I was like, oh, we're going to do a legal review with Franz because Franz is also in a former life for 7 years, worked as an IP attorney before getting into all of his adventures. And now I'm like, oh, I forgot that you're one of the most fascinating people that I know. So I would just like to interview you because you're ridiculously fascinating. So let's talk about, I think you might know where I'm going with this. I'm going to telepathy it to you. That Franz is one of the first people to have a video go hyper viral on YouTube with his brilliant and magical 666 burger truck, which was the advent creator of the Douche burger.
Yeah.
Would you like to tell that story? How on earth did you get into food trucks in the first place? Now, I know you're like a culinary guy. Franz is an exceptionally good cook.
Yeah, I just spend a lot of time cooking, and I get obsessed with certain foods, and I try to perfect it, and eventually got obsessed with burgers, and I had a flavor in my mind that I wanted to make real.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, and then I thought, like, what would be kind of fun? It's like, the people forget that that meat is animals.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
People forget that. And that was one of the things I kind of wanted to kind of satirically bring up in people's faces with my burger truck, which is why I called it 666 Burger,
Right.
and was really focused on the kind of ritual murder aspect of
Mm-hmm.
Satanism.
Mm-hmm.
Like our T-shirts said, "Meat is murder, and murder is delicious," because that's what you're eating. But point being, the burgers were fucking delicious, and around the same time I launched the burger truck, Guinness Book of World Records had just awarded Serendipity 3, 2. There's
Okay.
Serendipity and a Roman numeral here in New York City. The world's most expensive burger, because they sold
Mm-hmm.
a $325 burger that came with a gold toothpick. And I was like,
Ooh.
that's bullshit. You know what I mean? You're
Mm-hmm.
buying a gold toothpick
Right.
that happens to come with a burger, and $325 is not expensive. And the only thing that separates a non-expensive burger from an expensive burger is what people are willing to pay for it. So I was like,
100%.
right, that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
You
all.
know, you make the price, and then if somebody buys it, then that's the most expensive thing. So at the time, I was like, boom, satanic burger, $666.
You got
And
it.
I will tell people directly, and I said this on the menu, it's a burger filled with a bunch of rich people shit. It may not taste good, but it'll make you feel rich. Because
Mm-hmm.
honestly, that's how I felt about most of the, famous burgers that are expensive. It's just like, it's just a pile of, it's not even delicious. You're just piling a bunch of shit on it.
That's
So
true.
like I did the dumbest
Mm-hmm.
version possible. I was the first person to wrap an entire burger patty in gold leaf.
Oh.
Yeah, and I melted the cheese on the burger using champagne steam.
Ooh. La la la. Was caviar involved?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, of course it was.
Caviar, and then it was finished with a Kopi Luwak barbecue sauce. Kopi Luwak is the coffee that's made of the shit of civets. So, a tree-dwelling cat monkey that eats the
Eh.
raw cocoa beans, and then people
Yep.
collect the poop and they make the coffee out of the poop coffee.
Amazing. And was it in fact called the
I
douche
was called the
burger?
Douche Burger because who else
Mm-hmm.
would buy a burger like that? And then surprise,
And
surprise, we sold a bunch of them. So
yeah,
apparently there are a lot of douches.
don't tell anyone. Um, so here's the deal. Then you shot a video about this and it went viral, yeah? Or did
Um,
someone shoot the video, or do you remember it
I
was a
mean, it
million years
just went
ago?
viral. Like
You're right.
that joint
Mm-hmm.
went everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
The video that went viral that you may have been thinking about was not for the douche burger, but for the miracle fruit.
Oh, please do tell.
Miracle fruit is a small West African berry that
Mm-hmm.
changes your ability to perceive
Right.
sour and bitter flavors.
Mm-hmm.
To eat the berry and shit. But yeah, I did back in the day before it became popular. I popularized it ultimately. Um, I found the only grower in the United States, which was a
Mm-hmm.
dude named Curtis Mosey in Florida that had like
Okay.
20 bushes.
Mm-hmm.
And I bought some of these and I threw a miracle fruit tasting party. I called it a flavor tripping party.
Nice.
Um,
Good
on my
branding.
rooftop in my place, invited
Mm-hmm.
like 50, 60 people came out, and the New York Times came out. And
As they do.
yeah, and they filmed a video about it. And
Mm-hmm.
that is the video that ultimately kind of led to the whole kind of craze slash market for miracle fruit.
I did not realize that was you. I've known you for such a long time, and I know all about the miracle berry. And I maybe was drinking wine or perhaps smoking a little weed one night when I heard this story, and I completely forgot that that was you. I
And
thought that what you went viral for was the burger truck.
yeah, I mean, it said the burger also went viral. Dude, like
Yeah,
even
yeah,
I thought,
a few
like
things.
I've known you for, like I said, like 15 years or so.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until like fairly recently that that I realized that you were on The Apprentice.
No, yeah, I never used to talk about it. I actually talked on one episode of the podcast about how there's people I've known for a decade, people I lived with in the Winston house didn't know I was
Mhm.
on The Apprentice because it just really never came up. And I never really talked about it because, whatever, I just didn't. But
Well, no, I get it.
true
Like sometimes you
facts.
do stuff, and it's like it's just stuff you did.
Yeah, yeah, truly. And it's like that experience of like I have so much going on at any given time of what I'm doing currently that's what we're usually talking about. And then we're talking about life and shit. We're not giving each other the resume, even though I did pull up Franz's dossier. And also if you go to AndreaLake.com and you pull up my dossier, Franz helped to design my dossier with an amazing, very fabulous, talented artist, Lisa Wood. Yeah. um, because if you're doing cool shit, it should look cool that you did it. And I saw his dossier and freaked out. The dossier, by the way, for those of you listening on audio only, number one, sorry about the dog squeaks. We both have dogs. It happens. Number two, I pulled up Franz's ridiculous dossier at the beginning of, which is highly visual, of the episode. And I have a similar one because of Franz. And I cried when Franz presented it to me because he's like, you've done so much cool shit and you don't have like a website that's interesting at all whatsoever. And it should look like you did cool shit. And I was like, thanks, Franz. So
That's the
thanks,
thing.
Franz.
Sometimes, right? Yeah, of course, you do cool shit, right? But
So do
sometimes
you.
when you do cool shit, you forget you're too busy doing cool shit.
Especially when you've done like 20 cool things.
Right? There's stuff people to this day sometimes remind me of, and I'm like, oh yeah, I did that.
That was me. That was me. Franz is always the guy that when I go to these events like Summit or like any of the Necker Island, any of the big things that people go to who are fancy, he'll be the one that shows up in a flamingo suit or a flaming hot suit or some a ridiculously amazing outfit. Him and my business partner, Brian Burling, got along like peas and carrots because they are both very fashionable guys.
Brian's also a really nice guy.
He is a really nice guy.
Yeah.
True facts. True facts. Okay, so I have a legitimate, actual question for you now.
Ooh, okay.
Yo, yeah, that I was thinking about when you were talking about rental car rally, because I know that you've sold TV shows before. Why are these things that we're talking about? Why do you not have a multi-series deal with Netflix? Why is Rental Car Rally legitimately not a show that's on Netflix right now?
I
And if
mean,
not, and why don't you go pitch it?
ask Netflix. We've
Did
pulled
you pitch it
together
to them?
stuff. Oh yeah, we pitched them back in the day.
Oh, you
Uh,
got to pitch him again, baby. This is a fantastic show.
oh, absolutely. Like you still have the sizzle reels for it, and that's the thing. Yeah.
I'll hook you up with Raphael. Do you know Raphael? Oh, this is making the air. I'm not taking this out. No, my friend Raphael, who's the producer on like $1 Million Secret and America's Next Top Model and stuff.
Oh,
He's a
dope.
homie, super homie, friend of the show. We'll hook you up.
Yeah, I have a dope sizzle reel for it. So
Oh, amazing.
yeah, because the thing
You heard it
that,
here first.
yeah, and like Street Wars.
Yeah,
You
that
that
is a
one
TV show
we
waiting to happen.
that one we
Multi-series deal.
pitched to, we sold it to NBC. I think it was NBC or
Oh, really?
ABC. We pitched it with I pitched it with The Rock and Ben Silverman. Ben Silverman was the producer of The Office, U.S.
Yeah,
Office,
yeah,
Biggest
yeah. I
Loser,
know.
et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
You stop it right now. What happened?
They bought it, but then they figured it was too expensive slash
Hmm.
legally troublesome to make.
Was this a long enough time ago that the NDA is up and we can air this?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Did you re-retain the rights or did they still have the rights?
Oh no, I got them.
Oh, what's the show that you sold? Like Baller on a Budget or something?
Oh no, that one we sold to BET, uh,
Hmm.
but never got made ultimately as well. The one
Oh,
show that
okay.
I did sell that did get made, but only
Hmm.
for a season, was
Hmm.
a game show
Okay.
uh, that was basically giant Jenga with money in it. So
Shut the
each
front
Jenga
door.
that you pull out has a dollar value, and there's two teams competing against each other.
What?
And when the tower falls, whoever made it fall loses all their money.
Okay, this is just ridiculous. First of
And that
all,
was sold in Turkey.
oh, that is I love it. How did I not know this? Every time that Franz and I have known each other forever, but when we don't just like tacitly sort of kind of know each other. This is a person I have spent time with in person, in life, hung out, stayed at each other's houses, have had multiple, many hundreds of hours of conversation. And he's so fascinating that I do know so much about you, and I have forgotten more about you than I know, and I have 1,000,000% never heard of this story. I've never heard of that show. I wouldn't forget it. That is a great, fantastic show. And how does one go about pitching and selling a TV show? Because I know my audience is dying to ask that question right now. And we're literally cutting out the whole first part of the legal stuff because it was so much less interesting than this right now. Please, please, friend of the show, Franz Aliquo, tell me, how do you go about selling a TV show if you're just like, whoa, I have this great idea? Helps to be a lawyer, I'm guessing.
It helps to be a lawyer. I mean, I think step one is do it, you know what I
Right.
mean? And film it shittily.
Yes, that's right. That is right.
Do
Yeah.
it and film it shittily. And two is like make yourself a nice, like short, like 3-page presentation that explains really simply like what the idea is, how it looks like, and how it comes to life.
Also
it.
known as a
And you
treatment.
get that shit in the right people's hands, and then it just goes.
That's true.
You know?
Also, for the people in the biz, that is known as a treatment.
Yeah, it's a short treatment, particularly for like game shows. I haven't sold
Yeah.
obviously narratives or
Right.
anything, but like game shows or competition shows.
Do you know? Okay, I'm going to blow your mind right now because something could come of this, and then the whole premise of this show right here, Franz, for all of our new first time listeners who just came and listened because they know Franz, is that while I'm doing a 5x growth in my company year on year. So the first year we're at 400,000, the next year at 1.95 million. The year after that, we're going to be at 10 million. That's the year that we're in right now. The years run from July to July, and etc. Then 50 million, then 250 million. So I keep saying people are going to start watching this show really and listening to this podcast really, like really, really listening once I cross that $10 million mark in July, next July, July 26th. Yeah. And the reason I keep doing it, despite the fact that we're not promoting it, despite the fact that there's just not a lot of viewership. I think across the platform, we just now have 1,000 listeners and viewers.
That's freaking good.
Yeah. It's great. But my last YouTube got 200 views, and I was like, ooh, let's fucking go. But that people are going to come back years from now and listen, right? So a lot of the audience, the first time they hear this is going to be 2, 3, 4 years from now. And I am going to introduce you to my good friend, Raphael, who I have permission to talk about him on the show. So there'll be a picture right next to our heads of Raphael.
Dr. Raphael.
And Raphael has worked on many, many shows, and he's looking for his next project right now. And he is, in fact, his favorite type of show to produce is competition reality. That's his dream. So I can't believe it's only occurring to me in this moment. I know.
Shows laid out.
I know. Raphael, in fact, wrote my treatment for not Street Wars, but what? Sticker Wars. And it didn't even occur to me how similar Sticker Wars is until Street Wars, until right this moment. There's Sneaker Wars, there's Star Wars, there's everything Wars.
Yeah, it's just a different location.
Yeah, exactly. We've got to have war. But I'm literally going to introduce you to Raf. And I think you guys, by the time that somebody sees this show 2, 3 years later, as my Making of a Billionaire really catches traction, you guys are going to have a show on the air on Netflix. Oh, I just got full body goosebumps. That is my prediction.
Okay, I hope so.
You heard it here first. It is
I would not hate that.
November 20th of 2025. And I really, truly have a prediction that that's what's going to happen.
Good. Let's do it.
Ooh. Fucking get after it. Okay, so it helps to know people. It helps to have an insane Rolodex.
I mean, yeah, no shit.
It does. And it helps to have a legal background, right? Everything that we're talking about here, all of those things help. And I think that what's interesting about people who look in at this conversation and are like, what the fuck? You two. I remember when I sat down next to Franz, a person who I don't have permission to say her name, but it's just like a baller in our community that Franz and I are both friends with, said, wait a minute, what do you mean that you two don't know each other. Andrea, just come sit down here. And I am not going to lie. This is a true fact. When I went to go sit down next to Franz, I'm like, this dude looks like he works on Wall Street. Well, okay. Well, I'm happy. I'm happy to talk to him. Attractive guy. But the misimpression that I had of you when I first sat down, and then sentence 4, from that point on forward, I was like, first of all, we're the same person. Secondly, like we have such crazy, wild background stories. We both sound like pathological liars when we tell the story of, constantly, nonstop. And I was like, every word that comes out of this dude's mouth makes him more and more exponentially the most interesting person I have ever met in my entire life. Are you shitting me right now? And you did this, and every conversation we have is something like Franz being like, "What do you mean you were on The Apprentice?" Or me being like,
Yeah, exactly.
"What do you mean that you?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What do you mean that you sold a television show about Django with cash where like you lose your cash? That's a brilliant concept, by the way, to a Turkish television show. And then talking about being banned from Singapore. We have not gotten to the fact that there is another country which you are not allowed to go back to. Is it Sweden? Which one is it?
I
With
can
the
go
goat?
back. They don't know. They don't know what they do.
You can go back. Is it? Well, then we're not going to tell that story. But the thing is that when you meet your homies, when you're coming up and you meet people who are just interesting and up to fun shit when they're 20, 25, 30, I think we were probably like late 20s, early 30s, probably early 30s when we met each other.
Yeah.
Then you're both just doing interesting shit for the next 20 years. All of a sudden you end up knowing someone who, like Franz, who is one of the most incredibly fascinating people I have ever met in my life, literally.
And that's saying a lot.
It actually sure is. So tell me one more thing, because I talk a lot. I'm so mind blown by how interesting Franz is that I literally can't even come up with the next question. You literally blow my mind with how cool you are. I'm not even joking. I'm sure that makes Franz very comfortable. He's very comfortable with a
Oh
compliment.
yeah, no, I love compliments.
It's his favorite. What's the dream? What's the dream? No holds barred. What are you doing in 2 years from right now?
Well, I mean, if your premonition is right, I'm making a show with your boy Raphael.
Absolutely,
But
yes. True fact.
otherwise, like I've developed a digital slash IRL version of Street Wars.
Oh, it's so cool. I got
Yeah,
to see a sneak peek. Yeah.
and that is, legitimately, that's what I'm working on now. Like, I want to get
Mm,
funding for it, and I want to make this thing real in the world.
yeah.
So, like,
Yeah.
wherever you are, anytime, you can choose to hunt somebody for money.
I love that concept. And I'm going to make one more prediction because I'm starting this little thing with my homies where I'm putting together a cadre of all of my homies who are up to interesting things. And a lot of us are finding ourselves back in a position for one reason or another where we either just got bored when we were kind of sedentary and retired, or like me, I am the only one I think that lost all my money and needs to make it back. But a lot of people are getting into different things than they were in before because they're just reinventing themselves. And one of those people is a good friend of mine and a good friend of the show's, Mr. Ben Glebe. And
Mm.
he is, yes, and he is coming out with a new show. He used to work on the Chelsea Handler show. He's a fascinating dude. And I actually texted him and sent him Franz's dossier just a few days ago and was like, hey, you got to connect with this guy. I'm going to remind him of this. And I am going to send him this interview and I am going to ask him if you could be a guest on his new show because you're one of the best interviews around. I feel so lucky to have you because you're so interesting, and I think that something could happen there with the fundraise because he knows so many people that like to invest in
Mm.
interesting things. I really do. Let's raise money for an in real time Street Wars, because I did get to see a sneak peek of it and it's so cool. Tell us how it differs from what has existed in Street Wars before.
I mean, former or current Street Wars is water guns,
Yeah.
right? Hence the water gun assassination stuff.
Yeah.
Um, the difference in this one is that instead of using water guns, because the thing is about when you use water guns, I'm going to take it one step back. When you
Okay.
use water guns, the thing that's dope about it is before you get shot, right? When you see somebody chasing you, like the kind of fear and
Hmm.
whatever. And there's been other people that have tried to do digital versions of like hunts like this,
Hmm.
but there's no kind of visceral emotional reaction because it's all like take a picture of somebody or whatever.
Yeah. Hmm.
The way that the way our killing works is yeah, I know, right? The way our killing works is through proximity. So when the person hunting you is, say, 100 feet away, you get an
Hmm.
alert being like, some dude's on your tail, they're 100 feet away.
Right.
And they'll get another
Hmm.
alert at 50 feet, another one at 25 feet, another one at 10 feet. And if they get within 5 feet of you, you're dead,
That is
right?
so cool. So you could just start sprinting or jump on a
Exactly. You
bike.
start sprinting, but then they're going to start
Mhm.
chasing you and giving themselves up. Or what if you start running towards them? You know what I mean? But you get that kind of action movie experience of like, oh shit, someone's on my tail. I got to dip out of here.
Love it. I love it. I love it. And I think that's a TV show.
Your mic is
Okay.
the best.
My mic. You got, I was going to cut this out of here, but we ordered a mic stand and it's the cheapest mic stand that I've ever had. So for you people watching on YouTube, that's why I keep having a mic at differing speeds because it very slowly sinks down. The mic is a character of its own in this episode is what's happening right now.
I think we should
Uh,
keep.
yeah, I think I probably so. I don't know that she'll ever retire, but what does Franz look like at 70?
Franz is probably chilling in some orange grove in Sicily.
I love that plan. I
You
love
know,
that plan. That sounds
like
right.
finish off Michael Corleone style.
Ooh, proud Italian. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Where's your favorite place in the world you've ever been, Franz?
Mm, if you asked me that like 15 years ago, I would have said
Hmm.
Amsterdam.
Okay,
Now, um,
solid choice.
I don't know, dude. I really, really freaking loved. I really loved Indonesia. Indonesia was really
Mm,
cool. That said, Sicily, dude. Like, people sleep on Sicily.
yeah, they do. I agree.
You
I
know,
haven't.
Sicily has an amazing mix of kind of Italian and Arab culture,
Okay.
and it's like that's what's up, bro.
I just agreed as if like I had been to Sicily because I took a 6 week road trip, solo road trip by myself through Italy and Switzerland, except for when I landed in Roma. I immediately went north
Mm.
into Tuscany and Umbria, and I actually didn't make it south enough to go to
Yeah, people
Sicily.
don't usually hit the South.
Yeah. Yeah,
They
but
don't go
big
south.
mistake except for now. Yeah, now Franz is going to show me around Sicily.
Yeah, dude, come through.
Um, okay, what's your favorite color?
Um, Fuchsia.
Ooh, solid choice. Yeah, you were in a fuchsia suit. One of the last times that I saw you in Detroit.
Yes, yes, I
Hmm.
was. That's
Hmm.
it. It's my favorite color. I'm gonna rock it.
I like it. Yeah, yellow is mine. What kind of dog is Ragu?
Ragu is technically Ragu's an anchor baby mutt.
Aw, okay.
Um, she was born from a dog that was found in Tijuana,
Love it.
brought into California, where there
Hmm.
it had 10 babies
Hmm.
that are now distributed across different families. We have one of them. Um,
Nice. I love it.
the
And
mom
then
lives here too,
mhm,
so don't tell Ice.
I will try and control myself, my very hardest. Okay, you are bi-coastal New York, LA. Give me the pros and cons of both.
Um, LA, weather, for
Yeah, oh
fucking
yeah.
sure,
Yeah.
and space.
Solid.
You
Yes.
know, New York space fucking sucks. Like you get a
Hmm.
tiny, tiny ass spot here for like a couple of grand. You're living like a king. Everything else
Hmm.
is expensive as shit though.
Hmm. Hmm. True.
And New York, walkability.
Yeah.
Like you can. This thing that's like I just miss the most is not being able to kind of traverse through neighborhoods on foot and see the city kind of change as you
Hmm.
make your way through it. And two, racial diversity.
Oh
So
yeah.
New York, bro, like I'm surrounded by everybody from everywhere speaking every language.
Yeah.
LA, I think part of it, based on the geography, is very segregated.
Hmm. Yeah. That makes sense because it is a literal, actual, geographically far away, one neighborhood to another in LA versus you just are walking a lot. in New York, and you're seeing everybody in a smaller, tighter space. And the food in both places is fantastic, but the diversity of being able to just get like the
That's it.
best of
New York.
Ethiopian, of anything. No, New York for sure. No,
Yeah,
no, no.
pick, pick a country in the world, you will find
Yep.
food in New York from that country, and it'll be
Yes.
cooked banging.
Yeah, our office manager here, badass Jenny, Miss Jenny Le Armendares, just went to New York City for the first time last week, and she is not just our office manager, she's like a tattoo artist. She's sort of like us, right? And in 20 years she'll have all of these stories. And she also was like a diamond grader, and she's an artist, and she's the office manager here, but she was the head pastry chef. She's not vegan, but she was the head pastry chef at a very, very, very popular vegan bakery in San Diego.
Oh,
And so
no.
she did like a food tour last week in New York, and she was just in heaven. She's like, oh my God, I went to Edge Bakery. I've been wanting to go there my whole life. She went to the best pizza. She did the whole thing.
Mm.
And so I was just looking at all the food pics from New York on her Instagram, and I was like, oh my God. So I miss it.
The key New York advice from a born and raised New Yorker: if you want to eat
Yes,
delicious
please.
food, go
Yes.
to Queens or go to the Bronx.
Okay. Oh yeah. Oh, I stayed in the Bronx actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Queens though is really,
Is
if you
that where
want,
it's at?
dude, that's where you find like the mom and pop shops that like dish out the craziest food.
That sounds delicious. I'm hungry right now. It's lunchtime. All right, Franz, best if we're coming up to the end of the episode here. Thank you so much for being on the show. We lied when we thought it was going to be a legal review. This was a better. It's a million times better. What is your best advice for somebody who is like up and coming and just beginning to follow their dreams in life and wants to have a crazy fucking life like you've had? Because
Thing for people to keep, and it's the dumbest piece of advice because it's so easy, but I feel like people don't heed it, is just do shit. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just fucking do it.
yeah,
Because everybody and their mom has ideas.
yeah,
I think that, and most of those people don't do them. They just have them. They talk about them.
yeah,
And you just got to do it. And then it might work. It might not work. Don't fucking fall in love with it. Be open to criticism from people that are smarter than you and better than you at stuff.
yeah,
And then, if it doesn't work out, do it again. You know,
yeah.
I think part of being successful and getting the life you want is being dumb enough to try to get it.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more. Franz, thank you so much for being on the show. Couldn't appreciate you more, brother. I'm super glad I'm going to get to see you in San Diego in a couple weeks,
Yeah,
and
likewise, dude. That'll be cool.
it'll be so fun. And thanks for being a lifelong homie. Appreciate you much.
Oh, thank you, Andrea Lake.
All right, that does it for us on this week's episode of Andrea Lake 101. Join us next week where I don't even know what we're going to be talking about. Grab your wine, grab your popcorn, and as always, I will bring all of the tea on Andrea Lake 101, the making of a billionaire. See you next time.